Worst tea you've ever spilled where you saw yo, I crossed the boundary.
It was when I spoke about Kanyimbau's pregnant daughter
Okay.
or alleged pregnant daughter.
Okay.
Because she, there are videos that you would, when you are into gossip, sometimes, and you are into money, sometimes you don't think.
Okay.
You even forget that these are real people.
Sure.
These like, for me, it might be views, it might be money, but this is a normal human being that you're talking about.
Yes.
And as a mother, you will think, I should have known. You
Yeah.
know? How would I feel if someone was to go talk about my child?
Okay.
But at that point, I was driven by the views and the money.
Sure.
And only when I woke up one day and I found that she wrote something about me, and there's that you will say, "Ugh, what the what? Like you talk about you, but it hit me.
Okay.
Because then I realized that I'm even forgetting myself. I didn't know who that person was.
Sure.
And the only thing that I could do was to delete the video and apologize. And that was it.
Oh, but that was actually very big of you to actually apologize, because other people are just like, it's whatever. I love that you actually brought yourself back, and looking at the whole thing of saying you had lost yourself in between. How did you, like, for all these years, because I say now you don't do tea and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But all these years when you were spilling the tea and all of that, how did you constantly call yourself back to say, Ndivhu, yes, this is business and stuff, but this is where you draw the line?
I think being a child of God,
Okay.
because then every time, funny enough, whenever I would read the Bible, like there's days where I just randomly open, it will be talking about gossip. When I say my son should read the Bible for us, he goes to gossip and he says, Mommy, but you do this for a living, Like there was always something that was eating me up. Sometimes my husband would remind me, like it was just, I can't say I was always 100% free.
Okay.
But at the back of my mind, I've always known that this was wrong.
Okay.
But I was poor. I needed money, So I was just like, God, okay, give me something. Then I will leave this one. Give me something. Like now I was giving God alternatives. Like, if you want me to be holy, then
do this,
which was wrong at the end of the day. But I did it because I needed money.
Okay.
I had been unemployed for around a decade. I had been applying for jobs. I couldn't get anything. So now you tell me that I must take away the 80K that I was making on a monthly basis because the Bible says. So it was more like I was being disobedient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. And I think it's a good thing. It's like, it seems like it's very important as a content creator to have a support system, people that call you back to yourself to say, hey, now you're overstepping. I love that. I love that you had people around you that constantly reminded you to say, this is not you, right?
Yeah.
And then looking at you moving from gossip and moving into different conversations now that don't have to do with maybe diminishing another person and stuff, has the money dropped? And if it has dropped, how did that make you feel, like the first video where you were like, you moved away from gossip?
I think the first time that I stopped doing gossip, it was painful. Because nobody was watching me. And I think that's when you get a wake-up call that, they were not actually here for you. They were here for what you were offering. And now that it's you, they don't want to watch you.
Sure.
And it's also embarrassing because it's on the public platforms. Everybody gets to see that, from 50K, she now gets 100 views. I remember there was somebody that also did a video saying that, guys, shame, you must go and support them. They're no longer getting views. And the money dropped from, I think on Ndivhu T and Pastor Bay, it dropped from 25 to 2.5.
Hectic.
On the same month. I think I just couldn't do it. So I went back.
Okay. Oh, so you relapsed. Okay.
Yeah, so I went back. And then this other day when we were having our church, we have church at home with the kids. And all the scriptures that everybody was opening were just direct like that.
Sure.
And we're like, no, my husband is the one that said, this is it. We're not going to go back.
Sure.
And then that was the end of it. But I love the fact that, because, sometimes even if you say, no, I'm a prayerful person, when one door closes, the other one is going to open. You think, it might take time because God doesn't give you the time.
It does take time.
But with me, it didn't.
Okay.
It did not take
so
time.
So other doors actually opened
Many
when
doors.
you were willing to release yourself from the whole gossip thing.
Yeah, because I was going to struggle because I've already known that I can't go into the employment sector.
Yes.
I was already doing other businesses, but they were not giving me as much money as YouTube was giving. I felt like YouTube was effortless for me. It's what I've known for 4 years.
Yes.
But many doors opened.
That's good, man. That's really interesting. And then also, you were unemployed for like almost over a decade, right?
Yeah.
And like, how did that feel like? What was happening since you were saying you applied and you were not getting anything? What were you applying for? Like, maybe take us through that journey.
So I was applying for anything and like everything, whatever that I'll come across, be it being a domestic worker, being a cleaner. So I was once hired in Silverton Pep Store. I was a cleaner. I would clean the whole store alone, and you guys would come in and step there when it's wet, and I have to, you come and say, we need a container, but with a pink lid, and I have to go to the storeroom and look for it for hours, just searching for that. So I would literally like look for anything that I could get.
Okay.
But it was not easy. And also I had disadvantages. So when I came to Pretoria, I came after matriculating.
Okay.
Every time after exams, when I was writing exams, I would faint.
What?
So I had to watch the people that I came with from Venda graduating, and I'm still on the same place. The only thing that I went back home with was a marriage certificate.
Wow. You're so funny.
Yeah. So also sometimes I would get opportunities like when I worked at ShopRite as a till packer.
Okay.
When I went for the interview, it was for a management position.
Sure.
But I woke up naked. Everybody was blowing air on me because I fainted.
Oh my
So the thing of
God.
fainting during the exams,
affected
it also
you.
affected their interviews.
Yes.
And they're like, you can't be a manager when you know.
Yeah,
This
they
thing.
do
Maybe
so.
try being a till packer. So they taught me how to be a till packer, but I was still grateful because a job, you know.
Yes.
I just wanted anything that I could help my husband with.
Sure.
So I've worked at Pep, I've worked at ShopRite, I've been a domestic worker. I've worked at this other company as a receptionist. I never got paid, but I've been hustling. The whole 10 years, I was not just sitting and saying, oh, they're not hiring me.
Sure.
I was trying out
You're
businesses. I
doing
was
stuff.
selling lingeries. I was selling cakes. I was trying to be a photographer. I tried nails. The customers came. They sent me pictures later on. The nails have fallen off. I was like, oh, shucks. I learned on YouTube and I thought it was going to work,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my God, that's an inspiring journey, because many people have, like, I keep on calling this a career ego. I don't even know what it is, but many people have this attitude, dowry, I'm not going to do this because this and stuff.
Yeah.
So since you wanted to be a housewife, now you get married and now you change, your mentality sort of is, I need to help my husband. I need to bring in something at home and all of that. Where did that come from? Because I feel like now most people that want to be, actually not even now, most people that you even say that like you thought soft, most people that want to be housewives, they are men that is like, I just want to chill at home. So what was the driving force for you to say, you know what, I'm not just going to chill at home and do nothing?
Yeah, it's because I saw that my husband was struggling. We were now a family of 5,
Okay.
and I wanted to help him. I knew that if he's bringing in R1, if I bring in 50 cents, then we now have 150.
Sure.
So then we'll be able to move faster with where we were. So that's why I was like, no, I need to help. But now the thing of wanting soft life, like I said, that I should have married a billionaire if that's what I wanted. But
Sure.
so that's why I wanted to help my husband.
Okay, no, that's really good.
So that's when I
And-
started checking, and I realized that looking for a job was a challenge for me because then I would faint, I would do all those things. Then I started just doing side hustles and all that.
And the side hustles actually worked out.
They did, yeah.
Okay, now that's good. And then with YouTube, right? So what did you start with? Were you using your phone and invested in your camera? Like, if somebody watching at home and they say they want to start a YouTube channel, what are like 5 things that you started with and you feel like these worked out, whether or not a person has a fancy phone, a camera, or whatever the case may be?
Okay, so when I started YouTube, my husband had just resigned where he was working. So he had got some lump sum. So he
Okay.
bought us cameras, lights, and everything.
Oh, nice.
But those are the ones that did not work for us.
No.
Because remember, we did the content for 8 months, where it was couples content. But then when I went to the gossip one, I was only using a Huawei phone.
Oh,
I
okay.
would record with it like this, voiceovers. Then I'll then edit with it. Everything I was just doing with the phone.
Okay.
That's the phone that made me over R1,000,000.
Ooh,
So the
okay.
cameras didn't make me money, but
Okay.
a phone did.
So also, it's not even just about things being fancy.
No.
It's important to start with what you have and
Exactly.
just put it out there.
Yeah, because had we known, we wouldn't have spent that money on those cameras because at that time they didn't save us anything.
Okay.
Only the phone did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you keep yourself going? Because I know, like, okay, there's always story, there's always stuff trending, right? But I feel like YouTube does get exhausting, like the whole thing of posting, editing, and all of that. How did you manage to do all of that? Did you have people helping you, or did you just do it by yourself to a certain extent?
At first, I was doing it by myself, and I loved being exhausted because I'd not been doing anything for a decade. I had not been working. I wanted to work. I was tired of just waking up and watching Nigerian movies the whole day. And then my husband gets back. It's generations, it's Skim Sam, it's Scandal, it's this and that.
Yeah.
I was happy that I was doing something and I was getting paid for it. The only downside was people doing stories about me and comments.
Oh,
but
okay.
with the comments, there were those ones that you would say these ones are just coming for me. But mostly it was people that were coming for my English.
Oh.
So I've always said that I taught myself English.
Okay.
And I'm proud to say that because I feel like if I can sit with you and you understand what I'm saying,
Yes,
then
that's what's important.
I've done
You've done
better
your
for
part.
myself.
Yes.
Like I've done, so I used to go watch on YouTube, how do I say this? How do I say this? Every day so I was posting like 15 videos every single day.
15?
In each and every, because they were short, like 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yes.
So it was quick. So in each and every video, I looked forward to people correcting me.
Oh.
You don't say this word like this. And they will write it down for me. Some will be very condescending. Yeah, like I said debut. They come and say, no, it's not debut, it's debut.
Okay.
They even say debut so that you understand that
what's going
it's not
on.
debut. Everybody will say, no, that's not how you say it. But for me, it came as a lesson because I wouldn't have known. I would still be continuing saying debut, like every day, babes don't do more debated the song, For me, it made sense because that's how I read it. Like how I see it is how I was reading it. But they were helping me, even though they felt they were bringing me down. But even with the videos that people would make about me, there was nothing that could bring me down. I'd been hungry for more than a decade.
Yes.
I was happy every month going to cash out. So
okay.
For me, it was a bonus.
So you had a very big why, and your why was what was driving you. You didn't care who said what and who did what.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was not going to affect me.
And then also, I love that you actually use, because comments can be hurtful, right?
Yeah.
And I love that you, instead of sitting there crying to bed or whatever the case may be, you utilized them to enhance yourself, to do better. Because I'm like right now looking at your first video and your recent video, you can tell that there's been immense growth, not just from like views and money or whatever, but actually as a person, you can tell that this person has worked on themselves.
Yeah.
And then, there's a lot of bullying in the content creation industry and all of that. Have you been bullied and how did you take that?
I've been bullied from, I think, the second month that I joined YouTube until, I'm not sure if it's still happening now, but I was bullied. It did not, it was one of those things when you're like, we don't know each other. You understand? I don't know you.
Yes.
So therefore, whatever that you want to say about me, it cannot, it's just a matter of, I sit down and I'm like, why?
Yes.
Do you understand? We don't know each other.
Sure.
But I got to understand that this is business. People are working.
Yes.
And if saying my name is going to get you views, then you're going to do it. The same way that I talk about other people is the same thing that other people will then do to get views or whatever. But I've never really taken it personal.
Okay.
It's just a matter of, okay, but we don't even know each other. For me, it was never, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever feel like, today, Galibata one by one, and I want to respond to all of you? Or it was a thing of, I'm here for my money. It's a setting where I'm not going to entertain.
I've never responded to bullying.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
It's just one of those when you see videos about yourself, you either block and just move on.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there to work, and after working, I go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I see that you're a certified life coach, right? How does that work? What do you do as a life coach?
So because I believe I've got a good heart, I love helping. So I thought life coaching would be that door for me to be able to help other people.
Okay.
But then it didn't work out the way that I had envisioned.
Oh, okay.
Because then I take everybody's problems home. They affected me personally.
Okay, so you're
when
an empathy.
a person comes and they're struggling, they're going to end up working here. They're going to move. They're going to move in my house even if they are not working.
Oh, okay.
So then I realized that it was affecting me. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
So I'm just a certified life coach, but I'm not operating.
You are not exploring it.
No.
So you decided, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
So for how long did you do it?
I think I did it for 6 months.
For 6 months. Yeah. And then were you monetizing it or?
No, I was.
Okay.
But because it's in my nature, I love helping. So even if people would come without being able to pay, I would still assist them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you make good money from it or it was just decent?
No, I didn't make money. It was just because each session was I think between 350 or 400 rand. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Okay, and then what other businesses can one do from YouTube? Because I understand that you're not just a YouTuber, you've elevated into podcasting and etc.
With me, the business that I love the most, that I've always advocated for, I think it works well for me.
Okay.
It's being a credit provider.
Oh, okay.
So I've been a credit provider for 4 years now.
Okay.
I legalized it maybe 3 or 2 years back.
Okay.
But it's one business that I enjoy because I don't have to convince anybody to come.
People are always looking for money.
Yeah, I don't have to say, no, come take my money. It's blue, it's green.
Yes.
It's going to be the best. No, you just come. If you qualify, then you will get it. And I don't have to market it anywhere. I don't have to fight with people. It's one business that I love. And the other ones, like running a studio, I love it, but being stuck in the studio the whole day is like, you don't have a life. I can't even listen to music. I can't listen to voice or messages because I'm here. But I also love it because you get to see people's dreams coming to fruition. Like people's story starts from here and then they go to the world. So it's beautiful to witness that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.